Welcome back to Atlanta Tech Edge. I'm Wes Moss. Card-linked marketing is one of the new frontiers in the tech space, and Atlanta's own Cardlytics is leading that charge, quickly becoming one of the fastest-growing tech startups in the nation. Here to tell us more is the president of U.S. Operations, John Brown. John, thanks for being with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
So we need to describe to our viewers exactly what Cardlytics does.
Sure, happy to. So card-linked marketing is a new type of targeted marketing that is, I like to say, a new subatomic particle in the world of advertising. And how it works is consumers log into their online banking or their mobile banking, depending on where they bank, and they'll see offers presented to them that are targeted specifically to them based on their previous transaction behavior. Okay. So let's say I go to Peet's Coffee, I might receive an offer for Starbucks for 10% off on my next visit. All I have to do is click on the offer, go to Starbucks, use my debit or credit card, and the money will be deposited back into my account at the end of the month.
All right, so let's explain how this works then. So that your Cardlytics is then coordinating with retailers, and then the retailers decide on how much in a rebate to give back?
That's exactly right. So there's the consumer who's doing what I just described, and then there's kind of two other parties in the transaction. There's the retailer and then the financial institution. And what's in it for the retailer is, for the first time, they can target people with advertising messages and offers based on their actual transaction behavior. So not proxy measurements like demographics. We're not trying to guess at
I think they shop there.
I think they shop there.
They've shopped
we
there.
actually know where they've shopped. And what's in it for the financial institution is a new type of rewards program for their consumers that's free to the financial institution. And the other thing that's important for the financial institution is the way the technology works, and this is Cardlytics' patented technology. That's what makes this different and relatively new, is that it all operates in an environment where consumer personal privacy is protected.
And that's the role that you all play.
Exactly
one of
right.
the main roles.
One of the main roles. So the way the technology works is the actual technology sits behind the bank's firewall, is with the bank, and no personally identifiable information about individuals ever leaves the financial institution.
So for the average consumer, do they ever see anything that has to do with Cardlytics, or is it always an offer directly from a retailer?
It's always, so the platform itself is always branded by the bank. It's a bank-run platform. So for example, you might log into Bank of America and you'll see a product called Bank of America Deals. That's Cardlytics technology behind the scenes, but it's a Bank of America branded rewards program. And if you log into PNC, you will see it branded as PNC, Regions Bank, or other large financial institutions, all branded as those. And then you'll see brand names that are targeted specifically for you. So, for example, you might see PetSmart if you're a pet owner and you have those types of transactions. Cardlytics is behind the scenes. You won't see us anymore.
How about the Uber guys?
Well, that's a great question. So your other guest is Uber, and they are a client of ours, as a matter of fact, and we are proud to have them in the system in New York, and they'll be launching targeted offers in Atlanta as well. And what's great about that is we're bringing the power of that brand name into the financial institution channel. It's a great brand name. They have a fantastic service, as you talked about, and it's gonna be great for all three parties. And I think this is really the key point, is that it sounds a little bit corny to say it, but it's a win-win-win for everybody.
Yeah, it's a triple win.
It's a triple win. Consumers save money in the real world, not daily deals that are things like hot air balloon rides across Atlanta. These are deals for places where they really shop
they're
every
already
single day.
shopping there.
They're already shopping there. Advertisers get much more finely detailed targeting they've ever had before, and banks have a free rewards program that works great for their consumers and, oh, by the way, protects their privacy.
How about then the growth? And because it really does, it really is the first, it's the frontier of this to some extent. It's really an evolution of daily deals. How much growth have you had, and what cities are we talking about?
So we're across the entire United States in terms of our footprint with the financial institutions. We are live today with almost 400 financial institutions. The company was founded a little more than 5 years ago. And last year, I would say 2 years ago, was our first true operating year. We're a private company. We don't give out particular financials, but I would say that last year we grew our revenues by 4x. We're expecting to do about the same again this year in terms of our growth rate. We couldn't be more excited.
But even more interesting is that in reading through some of your literature, you're on a nuclear submarine. What's that about?
That's, if you want to put it that way, that's actually the true prep for being in a startup, because my serious answer to your question about that is that the great thing about being in the military or any part of it is all the great leadership experience that you get, and you bring, I think, a perspective that relates to the fact that things are not as bad as they seem, and it just gives you perspective about life. But the way that I shorthand that is to say any day that begins with a hot shower is probably going to be okay, right?
And that's the environment. There's just not that many people that are on nuclear subs. It's just not how many. It's just I've never met anybody.
No, it's 120 men, or until recently was all male, and it's a very tight-knit environment. It's very much a teamwork environment because the consequences of failure are great,
real.
and you don't want to have that.
Well, all right, we have more coming up with you, so stay with us for a Web Extra.
Will do.
We're going to talk more again about John's time inside a nuclear submarine as part of our JBN Web Extra, as well as the success that he's having hiring veterans and how he almost joined me on The Apprentice. We got to talk about that. You can see the interview by logging on to AtlantaTechEdge.com. For more information about Cardlytics, visit their website, cardlytics.com. We'll be right back with more Atlanta Tech Edge after this short break.